has taken over. Let's go. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money. It's Ferrall, coast to coast.
Make sure you get the SportsGrid app on iOS and Android. It's free. It's the most unbelievable thing you've ever seen because you can watch the network on there and listen to the network on there, and that's bottom line. It's free, and it's just awesome. So go get it today. Did you know we're streaming on X? That's right. Just go to SportsGrid-Live. We're on there streaming right now, and every day, all day, 7 days a week. It's fantastic. Did you know you can get the Ferrall Coast to Coast and Ferrall on a Bench podcasts on Apple, iTunes, right there. Boom, you're good to go. Monday through Friday, all the shows. And you'll like them. They're cool. Let's look at the lineup tonight. You got, after this show at 6, Game Time Decisions with the mayor of Miami, Joe Ranieri. And then at 7 until 1 a.m. Eastern, or until the games are completely done and over with, it's In-Game Live, Bracket Central with the Kevin Walsh and Joey Prawns, Joe Lisi, also known as Go for the Two and Go for Jen. They're going to be doing all the games all night tonight, just like they did it last night with Ben and Coach. It is all night long, like the Four Horsemen. And expect the same thing all weekend long on SportsGrid with In-Game Live when the regional finals go down on Saturday and on Sunday. It's just the best programming out there. Get into it like you do and like we are right now. Hour 2 underway. We're hanging out Carver High. I'm Ferrall. We're in New York City. Good to have you with us. And we start with Duke's 7-point win over, by the time I get to racially profiled Arizona.
Yeah, Duke last night, 100-93, the victory over the Wildcats. It looked like, actually, that they were going to run away and hide and cover the number, but Caleb Love in Arizona tried to scratch and claw as much as they could in the game. Love did have 35 in his final college game with Arizona, but it was Cooper Flagg, Scotty, who honestly, I mean, what a night. 30 points, 6 boards, 7 dimes, 3 blocks. First player with a 35-5 and 1 or fewer turnover games since Chris Mullen in the 85 tournament. I mean, that is just a ridiculous night from Flagg. Here is, yeah, go ahead.
I know, honestly, let's just get down to business. This kid is too good to be playing college basketball. It's like when he was in high school, he was so much better than every kid in America. It wasn't even funny, not let alone in, the games he played. And then he goes to Duke at 18 and he's better than every kid in America. He's the best college basketball player in America. He is the number 1 pick. He is going pro, and he shouldn't even be playing in college basketball. He is meant for things that you can't even imagine. Like, he is really super special. The other thing about him is, like, look at the shots and look at the free throws. Like, he goes to the line in a pressure situation in this game, and he just knocks him down. He's just the purest player we've seen come along, bottom line. And I think he's different, but he's the purest player that's come along since LeBron James, bar none. Like, Luka and these guys never played high school, college ball like this. No. I'm talking about this kid's he should be straight out of high school into the NBA. They don't do that anymore, and it's ridiculous. This guy shouldn't even be playing college basketball. He's a pro. He is a pro playing college basketball.
It's amazing. It really is. He's so much better than everybody else.
And you know what sucks? I hate Duke, and I actually like watching him play, and it's killing me.
But that's the weird thing. Like, I think that most people, unless you're a Duke, a lover of Duke, you went to Duke, you're a big Duke fan, I think usually most people hate everything about Duke. Like, they hate all these. People like this kid. Like, this is not the usual, I hate everything about Duke, I don't like it. Because he's so good, I think people enjoy watching him play so much.
I think there's some racial stuff here too. Like, I think white people are fascinated with him, and it was like Larry Bird. The difference is that Larry Bird was a hillbilly. Okay, you understand? He was from Terre Haute, Indiana, and he was really, he was from the sticks. He went to Indiana. He went to Bloomington to play for Bob Knight, and he was there for literally a week. He couldn't take it. And Bloomington is so small town, so hillbilly itself, so farmland, so John Mellencamp, it's not even funny. And he couldn't even hack it there. He went back to Terre Haute and played at Indiana State. And America was fascinated with Larry Bird. He had long blonde hair, and he was a white boy that could fill it up in a sport obviously made for blacks. You can say it whatever way you want, and that's just all there is to it. And there was nothing like the Magic Johnson and Larry Bird rivalry. And now all of a sudden, here comes this white boy. You can't even deny it. It's the same thing as far as I'm concerned with Luka Doncic. The only reason people aren't fascinated with him is because he's from Slovenia. Nobody here in America, Americans don't like others. They don't like anybody. Canada, they don't like anybody. Everyone's beneath them. We're just so stuck up. But here's this white boy from Maine. Christ, that's all you got to be is white from America, and they're going to love you. I mean, this guy could run for president tomorrow and beat Trump.
Here is John Shire, head coach, on how great Flag was.
Look, that was one of the best tournament performances I've ever coached or, been a part of. And just how he was with you guys, that's how he is. Like, he just did what you're supposed to do, and he'll move on and get ready for Alabama. And I think that's the beauty of it with him. He doesn't get caught up in all that. And I thought he just had – what I've wanted from him is not to defer. I've just wanted him to fully be him, and I thought he was that. He was in his element tonight. He was him, and he had just a great personality. He was loose, talking, competitive, the whole thing. And so, yeah, he impresses me all the time. But we need more of that on Saturday.
Listen, when he played at Montverde, he was as cocky as any kid you ever saw in your life, and he talked all kinds of Shaq when he played at that level. And you're talking about one of the greatest programs in high school basketball in the country, bar none, right? And he was playing in these monster games against monster teams. And he would talk so much Shaq as he was dunking on fools that didn't know what time it was. The difference is that now he's grown up a lot. He doesn't do that anymore. When have you ever seen him talking Shaq in these games? He doesn't. What he does is he literally pretends like he's this shy guy, and he's taking his game to another level. His game is so beyond high school now, it's not even funny. It's NBA. And the difference is he doesn't talk Shaq anymore. But I think when he goes to the NBA, he's gonna. Because he really is a killer. He is a killer. When he plays basketball, he's a lot like Bird. Larry Bird used to humiliate people and talk so much Shaq to him on the court that they didn't know what to do. They didn't know what to do. As he was dropping 40 and 50 on them, they didn't know what to do. This guy, if you look at his high school, the biggest games of his career in high school, he was always talking Shaq, right in dudes' faces, like just constantly dunking on him and talking to him and letting them know that they couldn't stop him and you name it. He doesn't do that at Duke. But I think he's going to do it in the NBA. Once he gets that money, he's going to come out of his shell. Trust me, you.
We will come back. Alabama raining threes last night on BYU as they will now get ready to play Duke. Yes, we will talk about that next.
So my team didn't win this weekend, but I still did with this app that's taking over the game. Sports Millions Pick'em lets you make quick and easy predictions. Pick your favorite players, go higher or lower, and you can still win big even if your team loses. Plus, the multiplier is insane. With just a few picks, you can win big money. So get on it. They've got a welcome bonus to help you start off your winning streak.
New to social casinos? You're in for a treat. Most online casinos offer bonus cash or coins just for signing up. That's your own little participation trophy. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What?
How do you do this one?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that rim. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of
18.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Yeah, I'll give you credit, Mike, that Caleb Love had a great final game of his college career with a 35-burger. I didn't see that coming, to be honest with you, against Duke. I do not believe that Sears is going to have that kind of game against Duke. I thought his game was incredible last night, and their 25 threes was amazing. And I already told you what I thought of Youngblood and Hollowell. I just think that Holloway, I think their shooting was phenomenal. I think Duke will take it away from them.
Yeah, it's I would say impossible to be able to shoot again the way that Alabama did last night against anybody. I don't think they can possibly do that again. They hit an NCAA tournament record 25 3-pointers. Mark Sears hit 10 of them. He had 34 points. Threes were raining everywhere. Westwood One Sports.
Alabama's got 94 points with 7:48 left to play.
I try to paint the picture. These people are oohing and awing at the display.
Sears nails a three. There's a new NCAA record for three-pointers made by a team in the tournament. 22 of them for Alabama. He has 9. They've made their last 6 in a row.
You know, listen, Mike, I don't know how many times I can say this. The key to the game was you got one guy doing that, and then you got two other guys doing it as well. They were all three of them were daggering. I thought the kid Holloway, I mean, they just didn't guard him. He was literally spotting up from three like he was shooting free throws. Like he was standing there, no one on him at all the whole game. They couldn't worry about him. And he had a big game. Same thing what happens when I play. They don't worry about the old guy. We can't guard him when there's 4 D1 players on the floor. I'm not guarding that old Ferrall. He sucks. And then I hit 9 of 11. Like, you just leave me alone. I'll shoot layups. This guy Holloway had open looks all night long, and he was roasting their onions. I thought that kid was the difference, let alone Youngblood. Christ almighty, you get 3 guys scoring like that, you're not going to lose.
Not going to lose. Alabama head coach Nate Oates, he was loving every second of it.
Told Mark he's playing chess, not checkers. He just kind of set everybody up with that 5 of 35, thinking he was in a slump, and he's going to come out, shoot like 63%, ain't bad. So 10 threes, I think first guy in NCAA tournament history, I was told, that had at least 8 threes and 7 assists. So, you know, not only was he scoring it, he was moving it. Helps to get assists when you got guys like CY Aiden Holloway making shots like they did too. So between these three guys, we had 21 threes. It's, we've hit 22 before a couple times, I think maybe 23. We've never hit 25. So
listen, this guy, think about it. DeBoer and this guy, Oates, make a ton of money in Tuscaloosa. They get every player they want. They got deep southern pockets, and it's still a football school. Believe me,
Yeah.
it will never be a basketball school, even though it already is. They don't want to admit it down there because all they care about is football. But they are so damn good at basketball now. They're back. I mean, they are back in the Elite Eight, and they're on the precipice of going to the Final Four again. This guy is a great coach, and he knows it.
He certainly does. And now he's got a big challenge ahead of him tomorrow. Here's the numbers for the Elite Eight on Saturday with these four teams we just talked about. Texas Tech and Florida will play the first game, 6:09 p.m. East in San Francisco, so just after 3 o'clock local at the Chase. Gators minus 6.5, 156.5 the total.
Yeah, I just can't get off of Florida, and I'm not a fan. I've never liked them in anything, in basketball, and certainly not in football. I'm a Canes guy, so I would never root for them. But I think they're going to beat Texas Tech and cover. I do. I think they're going to the Final Four as sure as I'm sitting here. I've never seen anything like a team play that bad and still win by 16. Who sucks all night and you still win by 16? Yeah. Like, that's when you know you're good. When you can suck all night and still win by 16, that's when you got a problem on your hands. Because if Texas Tech plays the way they did last night against Arkansas in the first half, they'll be down by 35 at the break, and you'll be changing the channel.
You certainly will. That's for sure. I have a Texas Tech future ticket. So I don't feel great about it, but I'll be rooting for the future.
You should
for Texas Tech, but I don't feel very good about it. The second game,
listen. I got no problem.
Yeah.
I hope they win. I swear to God, I'm not even kidding you. I hope Texas Tech wins. I've always kind of had an affinity for them because Bob Knight went there and his son Pat Knight coached there. So I have an affinity for them. I hope they win. I just don't think they will. That's just me.
Yeah. That's kind of where I'm at right now as well. I want them to win, but I'm not sure I can get there. And, of course, the nightcap will be in Newark at the Rock. The 1 and the 2 in the East both make it there. It is Duke and Alabama. Duke minus 6.5, so 6.5 in both games. I know it's come down from 7.5. And then 173.5, almost a similar total to that BYU-Alabama game last night.
Yeah, you do the totals, and I'm assuming you're on and over there. But my thing is Duke is, look, they gave up 93 points to Arizona. So I think Alabama and Duke will go over. But I'm not into that business. I'm into the business of this game and really who's going to win and the spread. And I'll tell you what, I think Duke wins, but I think that 7.5 is live. This Alabama team is very athletic. I think they're going to give Duke a run for their money. Duke should have won that game and covered last night. They didn't cover, but they were up 16. They should have covered. And they effed around with it, and Arizona covered. They lost by 7. It was 9 and a hook. Same thing here. I think that Alabama's going to fight to the end, and they're going to be in that game. And let me tell you something else. Literally, they are good enough. They really are good enough. If they play the perfect game, with no turnovers, and they shoot 50% from the floor, Alabama can win the game. They can win this game. They have done it before. Alabama can win this game. I don't think they will, but I can see them covering for sure.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid. You studied the stats. You had the perfect bracket until your upsets turned into regrets. SportsGrid rides the highs and lows of every buzzer beater, bracket buster, and Cinderella story.
The Big Ten Freshman of the Year!
Our team brings you sharp insights, real-time reactions, and all the madness. Only on SportsGrid.
It's you guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching!
Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What? How do you do this once?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Listen, Mike, I think that Alabama will give Duke a game without like any provocation. I think they're going to give them a game. I think Duke's better than every team in America. I have told you since before the season started that this kid is going to win a national championship. He's going to go down literally and carry them to a national championship and win it all. I said, Duke's going to the Final Four. They're going to the title game. So I believed from the jump that they were going. And I didn't even know one other Duke player when I said it. Like, I'm just being straight up. I just said Cooper Flagg is taking them to the Final Four and they're going to play for a national championship. And I said it to you 100 times on this show. I do think Alabama's going to give them a game. I do think Alabama could upset them. I think it could happen, but I'm still on Duke. And I think that, and I'm going to say this because obviously we're going to talk about these other games tonight. If they have to play Houston, my thing is with Duke, Houston, if it comes to fruition, I believe that Houston is the other best defensive team in the country along with Duke. I think it'll be a game for the ages, but I do not believe Houston can score enough to beat Duke. Duke will beat them. Because Duke can put 100 on the board. They can put 90, 80, 70, 60. Houston goes 60 to 75 range. When do you see them putting up 80, 90 all the time? No. They put teams down into the ground. They hold teams to, 40, 50, no more than 60 points ever. And then they win these games 75, 60, right? Duke can outscore them. So I think Duke will beat them.
Look, I really think that there's, the two main teams that are equipped to upset Duke and knock them off are the two you just mentioned. I think it's Alabama because they have the best offense that Duke's going to see. All right, they're the best offense that Duke's going to see. And if they don't miss, like last night, they can beat them. And Houston's the other because they have the best defense that Duke's going to see. So they're going to see the best offense and the best defense in these next two games. And if they get through those two, I don't care who's on the other side at the end. Whether it's Florida, Auburn, Michigan State, whoever it's going to be. I don't think that they're going to have as good a shot as these two teams are going to have to take Duke down over these next couple. Let's get to tonight because we do have 4 more games to decide who will play on Sunday in those Elite Eight spots. We'll start the night in Atlanta where Michigan State and Ole Miss are going to get together. Of course, we heard from Tom Izzo earlier in the week. He made it very clear he wasn't talking NIL yesterday. But he is talking about how all that matters to him at this point is you got to win championships. Winning tournament games, that's for the birds. I got to bring a title back to East Lansing.
Once you win a national championship, winning a tournament game means nothing. I mean, to our fans, it doesn't mean much, but to me, it doesn't mean as much. You know, finishing third in the Big Ten a couple times or fifth was okay because maybe we weren't that good, but it just doesn't turn me on. It doesn't do anything for me. So I have to figure out a way to try to win championships. Well, we won the Big Ten by 3 games, which, if I was to be very honest, was shocking to me. Probably if I really looked at all the teams that are left, there's got to be some common denominator. I mean, somebody could have just incredible amount of talent, but in the gist of it is you better be pretty focused, pretty disciplined, pretty accountable, and pretty together and connected if you're going to move on, unless you have unbelievable talent. And maybe there's 1 or 2 that do, but most of them don't.
Listen, I agree with him. The one thing that he always talks about, and I've heard him talk many times, is about the focus and the communication on the court. You have to talk. You have to know everything that's going on at all times in a game of this magnitude, in a game, a regional semi, a regional final, a Final Four game, a title game. You have to have the ultimate level of focus and communication between the players and the coaching staff. Everything has to be zeroed in on that, like talking, knowing, everything has to be, precise. There can't be mistakes made. Like, you watch that Florida team last night with 17 turnovers. They're lucky they won. I got to tell you, you turn the ball over 17 times in a game, you deserve to lose. So he knows he can win this if they focus and communicate enough. I think they got their hands full tonight. I think this Ole Miss team shoots better than Michigan State. I think Michigan State beats them with rebounding and physicality and defense. That's how they're going to beat them, and they got to communicate because this Ole Miss.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid. You studied the stats. You had the perfect bracket until your upsets turned into regrets. SportsGrid rides the highs and lows of every buzzer beater, bracket buster, and Cinderella story.
The Big Ten Freshman of the Year!
Our team brings you sharp insights, real-time reactions, and all the madness. Only on SportsGrid.
The 2 guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching!
Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What? How do you do this one?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Turning the corner on a pain-free Friday on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid, along with Carver High and Ferrall in New York. We're talking about the Ole Miss Michigan State game that tips off the earliest game tonight of the Sweet 16's remaining games.
And look, before we get to the seriousness of the lines for this game and who's going to win and who's going to do all that, me and you always love a good food breakdown. Like we always love. Somebody wants to let us know about them saddling up and strapping the feed bag on at a nice restaurant. We definitely want to hear about it. So
that's all that matters to us.
All that matters to us. So you're going to like this one because this is Chris Beard, of course, head coach of Ole Miss. They're in Atlanta. Where do you go? Where do you take the team for dinner when you're in Atlanta? Well, I mean, you got to go to Morton's. So he took the team over to Morton's.
I've been there.
Let's get the breakdown.
Growing up in Marietta, we didn't go to Morton's in Atlanta. We went to the Varsity. I think the Varsity hot dog is arguably the best. In my opinion, it's James Coney Island. It's Varsity. And then it's the old baseball game hot dog. Different than the football, different than basketball, different than a concert. If you go to a baseball game
Dodger dog.
at any level, high school, summer ball, all the way to the major leagues, if the hot dog is served in tinfoil, that's the key. Not a big fan of the hot dog where they pull it with the tongs right off the dill, drop the water. It's not my deal, but if I'm at a baseball game and I see that there's tinfoil involved in a hot dog, that's where we roll. Back to Morton's. True story. Morton's had the Caesar salad there last night, but the food was so amazing after the salad that myself included, not a lot of us went with the salad. You know, when they got the shrimp cocktails on the table and the crab cake, I guess you call them balls with a little stick in it. It's just hard to get fired up about the salad, you know, knowing what's coming down the line.
What is happening here? I've been to Morton's 5 million times. We love Morton's. There's a lot of great restaurants in Atlanta. It really is a great food town. I'm gonna tell you like straight up. I've lived everywhere. It's New York, Las Vegas, San Francisco, and I'm gonna give Los Angeles and Miami a tie. And then I would say Atlanta. Now, I've lived in all of them, and I'm not even close to being wrong. You cannot match New York for food or Las Vegas. Las Vegas has restaurants from all over the world in Las Vegas. They have, like, some of the greatest restaurants from all over the world right there at your fingertips, and it is truly amazing to eat in Sin City. You could get in all kinds of food trouble there. And I have had plenty of expensive meals in Las Vegas, believe me you. But I got to tell you, I used to love eating in Atlanta. My guy, Steak Shapiro, used to do Atlanta Eats. He does like a TV show about restaurants in Atlanta. You can eat your onions off down there, man. They got Taco-Ria down in Atlanta. Jesus Christ, don't get me started. I mean, I'll go there right now. I'll fly there right now.
Like you said, you got the shrimp cocktail on the table. That's another favorite for you, the shrimp cocktail.
You and I love shrimp cocktails, and we love dessert. We love dessert.
As far as tonight goes, Michigan State minus 3.5, 144.5 is the total. I got to tell you, this is where I'm going out on it tonight. The little Rogi Vachon for you tonight is where it's going to be for
Ole
me.
Miss. You're taking Ole Miss.
I don't believe, and I know it seems like it's going to be because of how this tournament's gone. I just don't believe that Saturday and Sunday is going to be all 1s and 2s and a cup and 3s. I just don't believe that. Someone's crashing the party this weekend, and I think it's going to be Chris Beard and Ole Miss. I think they're going to win tonight and beat Michigan State.
Whoa. I mean, that is strong effort right there. I got to tell you. Plus, with the ease that he talked about eating and food, and that he is not even worried about this basketball game, is of some repute. I think there is some validity to your bet. I'm still on Michigan State because of their brute size, strength, rebounding, and defense. They will, in my view, win with that. And it still doesn't mean they're getting there. I already told you, you're dealing with some wicked number ones. And I even don't, as you know, I've never based it on seeding. I just based it on who's the best teams. And I still believe those 4 are the best teams in America, those top 4 ones.
No doubt. Also in the early window, 7:39 p.m. East will be the first game at Lucas Oil in Indianapolis, where
I can't wait for this.
And Tennessee get together for the third time this year.
Honestly.
Kentucky has beat them twice, and now they will have round 3 here. The Vols right now -4.5. 144.5 is the total.
So, like I've said this a number of times, I think Tennessee has got a nightmare on their hands. I think Kentucky will cover in this game, and I think they can win. They beat them twice. They can beat them again. You hear Morency 6 of 7. They seem to be their kryptonite. I think Tennessee's a flat-out, more dangerous team than they were when they played them twice. You're looking at they're on the cusp of 30 wins. Can we get them across the finish line and they don't cover? That's kind of my feeling, that Tennessee can win this game, but they won't cover. And I will not be surprised at all if Kentucky beats them again for a third time. We've had this conversation 15 times this week. They have their number. And Tennessee has been known to go cold shooting. I think Tennessee, for my money, is the 5th best team in America defensively. And so that's why I think they can win this game. They got to beat Kentucky with defense. They have not been able to stop Kentucky in these other matchups with them. They got to play superior, better defense tonight against Kentucky if they expect to win, let alone cover the number.
Now, look, I would love to see Kentucky win. I'll be rooting for Kentucky tonight. There is no way I'm backing Rick Barnes in this spot. There's just no shot that I'm going to do it. So I'm leaning to Kentucky. I really like the under, actually. I think it's going to be a bit of a rock fight. It's 144.5. I think that they're going to play in the high 60s. It's going to be Tennessee's type of pace. And that could be close for Kentucky to cover that game and lose it. Like you were just saying, kind of catch that middle part of it. All right. In the night session, second game in Atlanta, we will have Auburn and Michigan getting together. Of course, everybody always talking about surviving and advancing in the NCAA tournament. Bruce Pearl says, yeah, we're kind of past that after the first weekend. Now it's about winning a championship.
The survive and advance thing, I think that's really true the first and second round for one seed. It is about survive and advance for the top seeds. You get to this point, we feel like we're playing for a national championship now, and we have 4 times we're going to have to do it. That's how we feel. I'm just telling you how I feel. You don't feel like you're playing for the national championship in the first and second round.
You got to win 6 games, and they got their hands full tonight, believe me you. I think they eke by. And here's another instance where I think they could lose. I still like Auburn to barely win and not cover. I think they get through, and at the end of the day, I've already told you, I think they'll beat Michigan State to go to the Final Four. They're so physical and enormous. And believe me you, I think if Michigan State and this team play, it's going to be the most violent Elite Eight game you've ever seen in your life. It's literally going to be a football game. And I think it's going to be awesome. I do think Michigan covers because Michigan never loses. They never lose. So I think they're going to be in the game. I think when Morency said 77-all with 2 minutes left, I could see that. I could envision that as well. Let's see what happens. Auburn finds a way because Broom's a badass, and he'll get the ball. He's like Queen. Give me the rock and finish it off.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid. You studied the stats. You had the perfect bracket until your upsets turned into regrets. SportsGrid rides the highs and lows of every buzzer beater, bracket buster, and Cinderella story.
The Big Ten Freshman of the Year!
Our team brings you sharp insights, real-time reactions, and all the madness. Only on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching!
Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What? How do you do this one?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
So, who do you like in that game, Michigan-Auburn, Mike?
I think that Auburn is going to win, but I think that Michigan will cover the 8.5. I think that is where I'm at with it. I think that Michigan will hang around because that's what they do. But I think at the end of the day, Auburn they have too much. Broom and everybody, they're just a lot better cover to cover than Michigan are. And I don't see the magic for the Wolverines here in this one tonight. And I actually think that's I like that under too, by the way, 154.5. I don't think that's going to be some 85-80 game either. I think that it'll be played at a little bit lower than that. And you might actually I think the Auburn defense is going to shut Michigan down, to be quite honest with you. So that's where that one's going to be for me. The last game will be Purdue and Houston in Indy at Lucas Oil. As you know, once upon a time, a long time ago at this point, Kelvin Sampson was the head coach at Indiana. Let's just say he didn't really have many feelings about being back at Indiana to play in the Sweet 16.
For you just to be back in the Hoosier State here in Indiana, what's that like for you personally?
Screwed him.
And then
Doesn't mean anything to me. I'm just looking forward to playing Purdue Friday night.
That's it. Shut it down. Who cares?
That is the most ridiculous question I've ever seen. They screwed him at Indiana. He made a couple of phone calls and they fired him. He does not like Indiana basketball or anyone associated with Indiana basketball. I can guarantee you that. And for that matter, he probably doesn't like Purdue either. And for that matter, he doesn't like Indiana in the state as a whole. He got screwed there. There's no doubt about it. I'll tell you one thing. If he was still there, they'd be playing for national championships. And instead, they've hired 6 coaches. I mean, they have been an utter embarrassment to blue blood basketball as a whole. They have been an utter diarrhea is what Indiana has been for the last 15, 20 years. Just absolute diarrhea. There's no other way to describe it. So they finally have a coach, allegedly, that's going to – I mean, they thought Archie Miller was going to win titles. And, you know, he can't hold his brother's jock strap. So Kelvin Sampson, asking him what it's like to be back in Indiana, he'd probably rather have a bowel movement than be back in Indiana. He can care less about Indiana. What he wants to do is win this game tonight. And listen, again, I think they're great defensively. I think Purdue's going to have trouble with them, but that number's enormous. Purdue can flat out play. They got 3 or 4 guys that can put the ball in the hole. I think they're going to be in the game. I think Houston will win. if you look at Houston, they win a lot of close games. They win a lot of close games. I repeat, I think it'll be a close game. I think the late nightcap game at Lucas will be a good one, and I think Houston will barely survive.
I think it's too many points also. I think Houston wins, and it's too many points. It's the same thing for me with these totals. I actually like this under, too. I think there's going to be a bunch of unders tonight. I think it's too much. It's up to 132.5 now, but I think Houston's defense is too good. They drag everyone into their style of game. And I think that they'll do the same thing with Purdue tonight. But Purdue will probably stay in the number because it's such a big number.
Painter's a great coach. You got to remember
Painter's
that.
a
Like
great
he
coach.
is. Listen, I think Kelvin's a great coach. So is Matt. So you're talking about the same thing with Beard and Izzo, two great coaches. I do not believe Pope is a great coach yet. I think Barnes has had his issues, and Dusty May, they've already said, is a genius. He's great. I think he did a great job at FAU. He's doing a good job at Michigan. I'm not ready to call him a genius yet. And then we'll find out how much of a genius he is tonight against Broome and Auburn.
We certainly will. There you go. Sweet 16 action tonight. Everybody is excited. The women are playing today as well. They start the Sweet 16. UConn is not until tomorrow. They play Oklahoma in Spokane, but
Duke won.
Paige Beckers, Duke did win. Exciting. 47-38 was the final. That's the final.
What a thrill.
47-38. That was the final. But either way,
Should have been
Paige
the
Beckers is
halftime
going
score.
in the WNBA draft. Well, didn't we know this already? Why is this a big deal? That she already said I'm leaving. Like, why is this?
There was a rumor she was
news?
going to go back to stores, and it's bunk. She's going pro. Or she'll make no money like the rest of them make no money.
Yeah, that's very true. She make more money at She probably would make more money at UConn next year.
I bet she already is making more money than she'll make in the WNBA.
Go ask Clark. She'll tell you what the drop in pay is when you go to the WNBA after being an NIL.
Actually, the person to go to full on bitching is Reese. She's the full on spokesman for bitching in the WNBA about the money. She made more money with that team that just won that Unrivaled than she did in the WNBA.
Oh, she was in that? She was in the Unrivaled thing?
I didn't watch 1 second of it.
Well, there you go. There's your college rack for the tonight and for the weekend. Everybody's very excited. When we come back, I want to get into the baseball. I will tell you, I've been watching the Rays and the Rockies at Steinbrenner Field.
What's the score?
And this is 1-0 Rockies as we're playing in the top of the 4th inning. Pretty good game so far. And the one thing I do love, like you give me a nice spring training stadium where they got all those patios out in the outfield. You can just sit out there and have a couple beers in the sun. Like that's what it's all about. And now you can do that at a major league game for the Rays this year at this park. So that's pretty cool.
I used to go to McKechnie Field and sit with my buddy Shabin, Ozzy the sports junkie, and get drunk drinking beers in the sun and getting sunburned. And then I went into the Pirates clubhouse one day and Ray Miller said, "Have you been drinking?" I said, "I had a couple." And he goes, "Get out of here." He goes, "You smell like beer." I go, "Well, thank God for that, because I'm going to go have a couple more, you fat old man." And I was young and stupid at the time. They threw me out of the clubhouse because they smelled like beer. You better believe I drink beer when I'm at spring training. Should be drinking beer right now, for Christ's sakes.
Maybe Ozzy's there today. You never know.
He might be there.
Want to play roulette? Here's a tip. European roulette has a lower house edge than American style. The lower the house edge, the better shot you have at winning. Most online casinos offer European roulette. So, if I were you, I'd get spinning. Now, go get lucky. See you in Lost Pages. Let's get lucky.
You studied the stats. You had the perfect bracket until your upsets turned into regrets. SportsGrid rides the highs and lows of every buzzer beater, bracket buster, and Cinderella story.
The Big Ten Freshman of the Year!
Our team brings you sharp insights, real-time reactions, and all the madness. Only on SportsGrid.
It's you guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this one? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
And suddenly we're talking baseball on a Friday as the season has started.
Yeah, why not? We were just talking about the Rays and the Rockies down in Tampa. Let's do a couple of things from last night in Major League Baseball after we got done. Of course, we had all those afternoon games. The Dodgers did beat the Tigers 5-4 last night. They were wearing the gold jerseys, the gold inscription with the Dodgers on the front. And you did get, all the famous people in the crowd did get to see Shohei Ohtani go Oppo Taco on ESPN.
Here's the 3-2. Shohei hits this one to left. It's carrying over the wall. He delivers again. Ohtani, a home run. Tom Hanks must have called it. Magic called it. And the Dodger fans are looking forward to seeing that for years to come.
They had it all going. Ice Cube coming out in the low rider with the trophy in his car.
They didn't do that again, did they? They did the whole Ice Cube thing again.
Yeah. It's always Ice Cube.
All right. Well, glad I missed all those pregame festivities last night for the Dodgers.
They had 4 B-52s fly over to stadium, too, like 4 of them.
They got enough money. They got $70 billion in deferred payments coming, so they got some money that they can spend.
A lot of Botox in that ballpark yesterday. There was a lot of that. There was a lot of lipstick.
Also late last night, I thought that we were going to get our first win on the board for our A's, who we are backing this year, to win some games. They got a couple of homers from Soderstrom to take the lead late in the game, but the bullpen yacked it up, tied at 2 in the bottom of the 8th. Jorge Polanco on MLB Network.
Straight away center field. He shoots it deep. Back at the wall. Gone! Jorge Polanco, have yourself an opening day. It's a go-ahead 2-run home run in the 8th inning.
Yeah, I'm with you on the A's season. I was on the Gilbert Grape train yesterday, so I did hit that Seattle game.
Also, the Cubs beat the Diamondbacks 10-6 last night.
I was surprised
lots
at
of runs there. Yeah, high-scoring game. And the Cubbies, they put a bunch in the seat. Happ had a homer last night. They were taking care of business out in Arizona. Let's go to – I want to bring you back to the Yankees-Brewers. Of course, the Yankees won 4-2 yesterday. Now, me and you, obviously, I wanted to hear this because we know that we had a passing of the torch in the Yankee radio play-by-play booth. Of course, we had the long history of John Sterling as the guy, and yesterday was game number 1 for our buddy Dave Sims, the Soul Man, getting involved as the Yankee radio play-by-play voice. Let's hear his first 2 home run calls. Of course, Wells and Volpe early in the game on WFAN in New York.
Ferrall from the third base side of the rubber, 2-0. Pitch swung on, high drive, right field. Line drive going back and reaching up. It is gone. A home run for Austin Wells. And what a start to the 2025 season for the New York Yankees. Hey now. 1-1 pitch, jammed him. Hits it to right field. That's a good jump shot. It's on the track. Looking up. It's gone. Oh, my goodness. Off the middle of the bat, Anthony Volpe muscles one out. And the Yankees have a 2-0 lead.
So we love Dave Sims. He's a good buddy of mine. He's just such a great baseball man and just a fantastic guy. Couldn't be happier for him. I am so thrilled that he's in New York calling Yankee games because I'd had enough. I respect his career. I really do. I respect Sterling's career, a brilliant career, and it just went on too long. It really did. It went on too long. He started losing his mind, like calling games. I know I'm mean, but he really did. Like, home runs were pop-ups to second base. It got to the point where it was embarrassing. Thank God they got Dave Sims in there now doing the games. Like I said, Sterling, genius, great career. And you know what? It had to be laid to rest, for Christ's sakes, at some point. And then now you got this guy in, and he's a legend in his own right. What he's done in baseball out in Seattle has been incredible, and he's right where he should be, where his roots are. He's from here. He was on the Fan, the Soul Man, ruling the Bombers and the Boogie down with a great start, with great calls on opening day. So happy for Dave Sims, the Soul Man.
Hour number 3, we will get into tonight's games in baseball. We've got NBA still to do. I think you're starting it off with Scott Miller. Very busy final hour.
Did you hear him with the hey now?
Hey now.
Here's a tip. Some machines and online games have higher average payouts than others. Want to try to maximize your odds? Well, do some research online to find games which have the highest RTP or return to player percentage. So now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
The 2 guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this once? Oh, Donnie, you've got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that roof. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
Just a little flyer, couple of
15.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.